Hey guys, Dan Garner, strength coach and nutrition specialist here. Let's talk a little bit about preserving your muscle while you're trying to lose some weight or while you're trying to lose some fat to be more specific. So what kind of sparked this video today was I saw on social media, just with no context whatsoever, take BCAAs and it'll prevent muscle loss while you're trying to lose weight. What? Like what? No context whatsoever. So forget calories, forget macronutrients, forget your genetics, forget how you're training. I mean, we can run a marathon every single day and not eat, and we're not going to lose any muscle. It's just giving advice without context drives guys like me crazy because the general population, they might not know. They might take that for what it is, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It holds no value to anybody, and it's not truthful above and beyond that. And being truthful is what this business is supposed to be about. So this is why I'm making this video on preserving your muscle while you're trying to lose some fat. So when it comes, this is a huge topic, by the way. It is not as simple as taking a supplement, and it's actually two big topics. There's a topic on training and how you should set up your training, and there's a topic on the nutrition. I'm going to tackle the nutrition today because one thing at a time, right? So when it comes to preserving your lean muscle mass during a weight loss phase, you've got more flexibility than you think. I mean, in the research, there's been fasting studies where preservation of muscle mass hasn't been a problem. In one very notable study, somebody actually fasted for 382 days, and all he had was water and the essential vitamins and minerals, and that's it. And he went from about 454 pounds to 180 pounds in 382 days. And that's not something I'm recommending, but it gives you an idea on what the body can do in such a breakdown state, with such a catabolic state. It lets you know how much resiliency, that's what I'm trying to say, that the body has. And in a more relevant example, alternate day fasting has actually been shown to be just as effective for preservation of muscle mass during a lean down phase as normal dieting. So your body's more resilient than you think. You don't have to eat every 2 hours or muscle's going to fall off you. It doesn't really work like that. Although I don't recommend fasting per se, it's important to bring up within this conversation. Now, when it comes to leaning down and preserving your muscle mass, a lot of people, they focus on their protein. If I get my protein every single day, then that's something that's really important that's going to help me preserve my mass. And that's absolutely true. But something that's a little bit more important than that is the rate at which you lose weight. So the rate at which you lose weight is actually more important than how much protein you're taking in. So even if you're taking in the right amount of protein per day, if you're losing like 5+ pounds per week, you're going to be more susceptible to losing muscle mass along with that weight, even if you're getting your correct protein intake in per day. So the best balance that we can have here is to get your rate of weight loss correct, which should be about 1 to 2 pounds lost per week, plus correct protein taken in per day, which should be around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. That's going to be plenty. And when it comes to rate of weight loss, you're also going to be preventing something that's known as metabolic adaptation, not to be confused with metabolic damage. Metabolic adaptation is a mechanism in which the metabolism can slow down slightly during a weight loss phase because your body is a survival mechanism first and foremost. It does not care if you have abs at the beach. That's just the reality of life. So your body will actually, once it realizes that you're losing a lot of weight, your metabolism will somewhat adapt to slow down so that that rate of weight loss stops because your body thinks you're starving in a sense. But what happens with this metabolic adaptation is you can get decreases in testosterone, decreases in thyroid output, decreases in leptin. There's a lot of things associated with metabolic adaptation. That's another conversation entirely. But what I'm ringing around here is that the rate of weight loss also helps you prevent this metabolic adaptation as well. So essentially, you're going to have kind of a higher metabolism for a little bit longer. You can think about it kind of like your credit card. If I stole your credit card and only took out 50 cents per week, you're probably not even going to notice. But if I stole your credit card and took out $5,000 in the first week, you're going to call the bank and you're going to shut down your credit card immediately. That's kind of like the metabolism. If you lose a ton of weight really quick, the metabolism is going to say, holy crap, we're starving. I don't want to deal with this. Let's slow her down. But if you slow down that rate of weight loss, it's kind of like the 50 cents per week. The metabolism's looking over here and you're losing weight over here. So it's just a smarter way and a lot more healthy way to go about it. Having said that, the more overweight you are, the more weight you can lose per week and not sacrifice muscle loss. So take that into consideration as well. Um, when it comes to the protein intakes, we discussed rate of weight loss. When it comes to protein intake, you want to separate it evenly throughout the day. So there's two curves that are always happening within the body, your fractional synthetic rate and your fractional breakdown rate. The fractional synthetic rate is a measurement at which you're adding protein to the body, and the fractional breakdown rate is a measurement at which you're breaking down protein within the body. We need to feed both of these curves for as much of the 24 hours as humanly possible if preserving muscle mass is of importance to us. Why? Because we don't want protein breakdown in the body and we want to support the protein buildup in the body. So how do we do this? We have our protein intake distributed evenly throughout the day, and we have a slower source at nighttime so that you're still getting amino acid availability in the bloodstream and to the skeletal muscle tissue while you sleep. So we're feeding both of those rates. So we're not breaking down protein within the body, and we're still supporting the protein buildup within the body, because it is entirely possible to build muscle while you're losing weight as well. Something else that's important from a nutritional perspective is your carbohydrate intake. I'm not a fan of dropping carbohydrates entirely at all during the lean down phase. I think they're very important to stay within the pre, during, and post-workout area to support recovery and to support muscular fuel and nervous system fuel during exercise. But carbohydrate, the stored form of carbohydrate in the muscle cell is known as glycogen. And when these forms get very low, it sends off a signal throughout the body, a catabolic signal, so a breakdown signal. So irrespective of how hard you're training, if those glycogen statuses are low, you're going to be more catabolic than not. So I'm a big fan of keeping carbohydrates in there to support your performance recovery, but also to support that preservation of lean muscle mass.